Southampton 1, Manchester United 1, a tactical analysis. Before the video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the tactical analysis, scout reports or snap documentary videos coming up over the next few weeks. Also check out the first episode of the Player Roles Explained series, where we'll be talking about the TREQUARTISTA and give a tactical and historical explanation, while also giving modern day examples of players who currently play that sort of role. And we've also released the What Lil Nas X and Jesse Lingard have in common video. We'll link both videos in the description below. So going into this game, Solskjaer started with his regular 4-2-3-1 system, with De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Ashley Young coming in for the injured Luke Shaw at left back, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof starting as the centre backs, with Pogba and McTominay playing as double pivot in midfield, and in front of them there was Pereira on the right, Mata central and Daniel James starting from the left this time, with Marcus Rashford playing as a lone striker. Ralph Hasenhüttl set up his side in a narrow 4-4-2. Cedric was a right back with Danso at left back, Bednarak and Vestergaard were the two centre backs, with Højbjerg and Romeo playing as the two central midfielders, with Ward-Prowse on the right and Sofiane Boufal on the left, and up front there was Che Adams and Danny Ings. From the start of the game, Southampton looked to press Manchester United from their build-up. Adams and Ings would man-to-man press Maguire and Lindelof when they had the ball, force the ball out wide to the fullbacks, where Ward-Prowse and Boufal could then move to press Wan-Bissaka and Ashley Young. Hasenhüttl recognised that the weakest part of Manchester United's play when they had possession was with the fullbacks. Wan-Bissaka, while being very good defensively on the ball, can take his time and doesn't often look up and find those passes into midfield quick enough. With the Southampton fullbacks moving up to press the Manchester United wide players, this narrowed down an option for Wan-Bissaka and Young, forcing them to play passes into the midfield, from where Romeo and Højbjerg could look to move on and press Pogba and McTominay and potentially win the ball high up the pitch in the Manchester United half. To combat Southampton's narrow system and high pressing, De Gea would look to play long balls up to the forward line, hoping that a ball could be knocked down for Mata and Pereira, who'd be in behind the Southampton midfield. Southampton's pressing style was very effective as it forced Manchester United to play long balls. Though when Southampton's midfield two, Romeo and Højbjerg, pushed up to press McTominay and Pogba when they dropped deep, there was a massive space in behind them between Southampton's midfield and defence, which allowed players like Mata, James and Pereira to move into, and this is when Manchester United did have joy when Pogba was able to bypass the press via a dribble past the two central midfielders. Even though Daniel James did break the deadlock with an excellent strike from just outside the box, Manchester United's lack of quality in those central attacking midfield positions was evident in this game. The space was there, but they just couldn't take advantage because Mata is too slow on the ball and Pereira offered nothing from that right hand side. Even though Wan-Bissaka did become an outlet when Manchester United had possession, being able to play the ball out to him because of Southampton's narrow pressing system, this was a very good tactic by Hasenhüttl. He recognised that Pogba was Manchester United's most creative player, so by forcing the ball out wide and cut off passing lanes into the central midfielders, they would effectively stifle Pogba's creativity and leave the play up to Wan-Bissaka and Young, who aren't very creative from those fullback positions. At the start of the second half, Southampton came out as much the better team. The two centre forwards, Ings and Adams, were looking to make runs into the channels to pull the centre backs out of the central position and potentially create space for players to make runs into. United seemed more content in the second half to sit back a bit and play via quick transitions. Pogba was excellent at receiving the ball from deep and looking for long passes over the top of the Southampton back line for Rashford to make runs onto. When Matic came on, Pogba was moved further ahead into the central attacking midfield position, where he was able to create more chances for Rashford, but instead of playing long balls over the top of the defence from deep, he was able to play short through passes in for Rashford, who's making some good runs, but his finishing on his left foot wasn't clinical enough to take advantage of those opportunities. Daniel James was probably Manchester United's star attacker, creating a lot of chances from that left hand side, beating his man and then putting in some great low crosses, but Rashford doesn't have the instinctive movement in those positions that Martial does, so couldn't take advantage of those chances. When Danso got sent off for Southampton, Hasenhüttl's side sat back in a 4-4-1, but Solskjaer was late to make any changes to this. He only brought on Greenwood in the 82nd minute, which was far too late for him to have a massive impact. This result means there's no win for Manchester United in the last 3 games, and the failure to bring in a creative midfielder this summer seems to be having a massive impact on the squad and seems to be the downfall of the whole side, because Pogba is having to play further back in that deep double pivot, and the players ahead of him like Daniel James, Lingard and Pereira aren't creative enough to break down an opposition side when they're sitting back in 2 banks of 4. Whilst United's lack of depth is very evident and a massive issue, particularly with the Europa League coming up later on in the season, Solskjaer has to be putting on Greenwood, Chong and even Gomez in the side, because the likes of Matic, Mata and even Pereira have just had it. They don't have anything to offer in this side, and it's stifling the development of players from the under-23s who could have a massive impact in the first team. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and check out some of our other videos as well.